folly days, pagan days, but we also are in the season of one of our feast days called the Feast of the Dedication. I also call it the Feast of Lights. The world call it Hanukkah. We're going to get some history on that. So if y'all, some of y'all don't got apocryphas in here, get next to somebody that got them, we're going to read a little bit out of that too as well. And all of us go into the title, we'll be talking about putting on the whole armor of the Most High. That's what you're going to need to get through these last days. Ain't no strap going to get you out of this. No amount of money, no amount of how much food you got put up, or how much you think your peoples are nice and cordial, it don't matter. If you don't got the whole armor of the Most High on, you ain't going to get through these last and troubling times that we got facing. And these brothers in the Maccabees had to do the same thing, so they kind of go hand in hand. We're going to get to it, get into some history, and show how it played out in the past. It's going to play the same way out in the future. These are the times we fastly approach. For y'all to Google and do any type of research, y'all look up the Defense Authorization Act. They just passed that. Defense Authorization. Y'all can Google that or whatever you do, however you did your research. The Defense Authorization Act. That passed last Friday on the Senate floor. They aiming at terrorists domestic now, meaning they're looking at homegrown terrorists while you all thought it was about the Abrams. This thing was always bigger than that. That just was a dry run. Now they looking inward now. So who are the terrorists in the United States? Who are they looking at? You feel me? Under this Defense Authorization Act, if you own binoculars, if you got too much food put up, whatever it may be. You know, you talk about the Bible too much, you consider a terrorist to them. This just passed the floor last Friday. The Senate floor. It's a law now. Alright, then they can lock you up without even giving you a trial, telling anybody nothing. Them the days that we in, but the same laws was on the book back then when this kicked off for us. That's right. You feel me? So it's time for us to be more prepared spiritually, mentally, and even physically. You feel me? Sometimes the spiritual war go physical. That's right. Alright, so we gotta be prepared. But if you don't got the armor of the Most High on, won't no AK save nothing. Right. Because these heathens giving away AKs now, they got satellites that can shoot bullets. They got spy drones they fight wars with now. Right. Remote control plane. Y'all seen the movie Eagle Eye?
Big as a plane the one I ran.
Yeah. Matter of fact, the U.S. just had a drone flying over Iran and shot that deal down. So what they got, they actually fighting wars like they done prepped us with the video game. Sitting there playing games all day. They actually fighting wars like that. You feel me? Some fat heathen behind the keyboard somewhere got the keyboard or whatever, and he's controlling these spy drones, and they dropping bombs, they shooting stuff all over there in the Middle East.
With a joystick.
With a joystick.
And y'all see how they deal with that old white woman Marie at the airport, so nobody on limits. Nobody. She followed, she said they raped me.
Yeah. So that's what we get into. And also, under this Defense Authorization Act, you got an approved provision of bestiality. That's something that they just asked the White House press secretary about that yesterday. Bestiality. Right? So not only we got the bestiality, laying with animals, and what the scripture clearly forbid. Right? Laying with animals. That's the spirit that's around now. Not only that, you see all these football coaches getting caught up, raping little boys.
All these grown men coming out now. I was raped 5 years ago. This man 30 years old.
So, right. 30 years old, what kind of man is you anyway?
Right.
Let's understand, these are them spirits. They was little boys then. And now 20 years later, they standing up saying something. But not only this bestiality that's going on, that pedophilia, and what we looked up, what's the name of it? Pederast.
A pederast.
A man that desires little boys.
Only. Like little girls.
Yeah. So y'all, this little stuff y'all can look up.
Right.
And that's why they bring all the troops home, huh?
Yeah, all them supposed to be home by in a couple weeks. Right? Also, you got civil unrest, Occupy Wall Street going on.
All this.
You feel me? So they got provisions and all type of stuff on the records to make it seem as okay, well look, y'all rebelling, we got a spot for you.
Right.
They got concentration camps, over 10,000 guillotines. You feel me? They got caskets all over the place. They ready. You see what I'm saying? So in order for you to get through this, you're going to have the armor of the Most High on. You're going to have to. Because it's spirits that's controlling these people who you see. Understand it? So you got pederast and pedophile. Y'all look these things up when you spare time. It's without excuse now. It's easy to find out all this stuff. But these are the laws that's on the records right now. And also, what they call them, J.E., executive orders.
Executive orders.
Put them down too. And then we're going to get into some of these scriptures, and they prophesied that in the end times, these things was going to be happening. Right? So you have a sense on where we at. Executive orders. Under some of these executive orders, name off a few people, what can happen?
Well, you got where they will seize the airwaves, they will seize the farms, they won't let you travel, you'll be in internment camps, many of the old prison camps, they will experiment on you, they will cut your organs out and sell them, you know, so there's a lot of these laws that's on the books right now, especially with this law that just came out, the Defense Authorization Act. They can come and get you out your bed at 3 in the morning, take you to Guantanamo Bay or anywhere, and can't nobody do nothing.
What kind of God is that you're talking about?
But the Lord, but the Most High warned us. He said, my people, the days of evil at hand. Get ready for the battle. Get ready. So we supposed to be in the mindset of putting on the armor, whole armor of the Most High. And now I heard it's in La La Land as if everything gonna get better. It's prophecy we dealing with. You feel me? This is Babylon, the last ruling empire on the earth. It ain't gonna get better. Get that out your mind. It ain't gonna do nothing but get worse and worse until you're gonna have to make a decision. Either you're gonna compromise, that spirit of compromise leads to the mark of the beast. These brothers that when this went off, when this went down, this feast of dedication, these brothers didn't compromise at all. It was brothers that did though, and they sold out and said, we're gonna do whatever the king say. We ain't gonna keep the law of God no more. We ain't gonna keep the Sabbath no more. We ain't gonna keep the feast days no more. We gonna be Greeks. And that's the spirit that's around now. So we got to make sure that we ain't wavering or compromising at all. No way, shape, form, or fashion.
You can't do it. Satan's going to make you make a covenant. He's going to make you physically in front of everybody say, I'm not dealing with the God of Abraham anymore. Exactly. It ain't going to be no thing that where you can go back and say, no, I really didn't. I didn't mean that. Yeah, that one eat my good hand I wrote. That ain't my signature. No. You're going to acknowledge I'm done with the God of the Bible. And
we're going to get to the Maccabees, and you're going to see brothers have already done that. So it ain't nothing new. Before we get to this Isaiah, let's go here real quick, y'all. Ecclesiastes. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1. Ecclesiastes. Right after Proverbs, chapter 1. English 9. No, it's regular Ecclesiastes. And then Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. It's to show you that the Most High requires what's past. What did happen in the past will play out in the future. He already showed it to us. So we can be prepared. Alright, let's get to Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1.
Are we looking? Everybody there? Let's get to where we going. We're going to kind of set the stage on what this is about. Right? And understand that it's going to take great faith. Great faith for us to get through this. Not only get law keeping, but you want to be fully persuaded that the Lord will do what He has already done and what He's already promised. Either this just ink on paper for y'all, or you believe it. Right. That's it for each of y'all to decide. Either you believe what you read, or it's just ink on paper. Good story. The stories are those are good stories in the Bible. Right. Or they're true. All right, let's get there. Ecclesiastes chapter 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be.
You hear that? The thing that have already been is the thing which shall be. Alright? Come on, Hebrew.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
And that which is done is that which shall be done. So if it went down in the past, it's coming back around full circle for the future. Alright, come on, Hebrew.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
Ain't nothing new under the sun. They've been trying to get us to go against the covenant of the Most High, blaspheme the name of our God. They've been trying to get Israel off the planet. It ain't nothing new. They've been had laws on the book like all these that just passed. Defense Authorization Act, executive orders. They've been had concentration camps and all that. Ain't nothing new up under the sun. Alright, let's read it chapter 3, Hebrew. Chapter 3.
We'll read that verse 10.
Okay.
Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new. It hath already been of old time.
So it ain't no, what you mean, oh, the new world order. Huh? It ain't, they was kicking off the New World Order back then too. Same type of spirit is in the earth, right? It's just different players of the game now. But the same spirit is controlling the rulers of the earth.
Which was before us.
Let's go to chapter 3, verse 15. We just establishing that which had happened already will come back around full circle. What you gonna do when it happens?
Chapter 3, verse 15. That which hath been is now.
You heard that? That which have been, the past, is now. Right? Come on.
And that which is to be hath already been.
And that which is to be done already happened. Come on.
And God required that which is past.
The Most High requires that which is past. So that's why we're going to get to history and show you the end time scenario of what's going to play out in the future. Same exact thing going to play out. All right? Let's get this down. You got to put on the whole armor. Isaiah 59. Bro, got that? Then somebody grab Ephesians 6. You got to grab Ephesians 6 for it.
Okay.
6.
Isaiah chapter 59, verse 17.
Read 15 to 17. Got it?
Verse 15.
How we look? We'll wait for you to get there. Isaiah 59. Remember, the Most High requires that which is past. It already didn't happen.
We have to back it up to verse 12 because 15 is rolling off a little bit.
Okay.
Isaiah chapter 59, verse 12. For our transgressions are multiplied before thee, and our sins testify against us. For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities, we know them.
Question for the crowd. What are the transgressions and iniquities? What is that? Unless we know what it is, we just talking in the earth. What is iniquity?
Transgression of law.
Transgression of what?
Of law.
Of the law. The law of God. According to 1 John 3 and 4.
Right.
Y'all write that down. 1 John 3 verse 4. A sin is the transgression of God's law.
That's right.
It ain't because you drank you a bird or something or got mad. You heard me? The scriptures say don't be drunk. You can drink without getting drunk, can't you? Well, look, Christ did it. He drank wine, but he wasn't drunk. All right, so read that 12 again, just so we can get an understanding on what we're reading, because you could be down here listening. Oh, them brothers were down there talking about transmissions, talking about transgression. No, what's being said here. That's why it's important for us to understand what we read. If you don't understand, get you a dictionary. Open it up, look the word up.
That's right.
Get the understanding. We ain't now talking about no transmissions. We're talking about transgression, which is the breaking of God's law. That's what a sin is. All right? Come on, Hebrew, read
Verse 12. For our transgressions are multiplied before thee.
Our sinning is multiplied before you, Lord. We keep breaking your law. Come on.
And our sins testify against us. For our transgressions are with us. And as for our iniquities, we know them.
Yeah, we know them. You know when you're wrong. You know what you're doing that's wrong and against the code, but we do it anyway. You love that flesh. Feel good, don't it?
Hebrew chapter 12, verse 1.
What does it say, Gary?
Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily beset us.
No doubt. Let's get that, Daniel.
Verse 13. In transgressing and lying against the Lord, and departing away from our God, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood.
That sounds familiar today. All type of stuff, lying against the Lord, conceiving falsehood, deceit. Don't nobody speak on the truth no more. What is the truth according to what's written? Okay, is it your own opinion that's the truth? Or according to Gedaliah, the Lakers are the truth. He's the Lakers for that. The Lakers are the truth, fam.
Not unless we acquire Chris Paul.
Okay. Okay, you see what I'm saying? The truth can be anything to anybody up in here. But what's the fact of the matter? What does the record say the truth is? Right? That's what we need to get into. What's the truth according to what's already written? We're going to get into it. Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 14. And judgment is turned away backward.
Judgment turned away backward. Don't nobody spiritually discern between what's right and wrong no more. It's okay. Like if somebody is, if a grown man is walking down the street switching, popping his gum, Looking like a woman, it's okay now. Don't say nothing, it's okay. Judgment turned away backward. Ain't nobody discerning between what's right and wrong no more.
Right.
It don't matter. See, that leaves way when you take the law of God out. Law of God tell you a man that lay with another man is an abomination. Right. Old and New Testament. So it only says that in the old, silly. That say it all over the Bible. Right. Old and new. Right? So judgment is turned away backwards. Meaning ain't nobody speaking up for what's right no more.
That's right.
We see stuff and we turn a blind eye to. Right? Like, okay, so if the South Side rapist was free and roaming the alleys of the South Side, raping little girls, and you just happen to be coming through the alley, going to the store, and you see that, do you turn around and just walk away?
Right.
You do that? Where they do that at?
Right.
Huh? It's judgment. Ain't nobody judging no more. Not meaning you feel me like you judge, but you're righteously discerning between what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
Right? And you never know, most time might have had you there just to administer that judgment. Partner, you tripping.
That's right.
Right? To say that little girl right there.
Right.
Or you a coward and turn your back and walk away. No. That ain't what men of the Lord is about.
Like Matt could be saying, what the 1 Corinthians, where it says, the Lord won't put no more on you than you can bear, but with that temptation will make a way of escape.
Right.
You might have been that escape by walking up on that iniquity.
No doubt.
But you failed the test.
No doubt.
And let me say this, Valley. Also, when we're talking about men acting like women,
right,
or doing those things, we got to be careful. This thing stretch across a long line because Satan after everybody. He gonna come after what part of it you like. So we got to ask ourselves, when is it okay for another man to slap another man on his rear end?
Exactly. I don't care if it's a football game. So
but see, we watch football, we get comfortable with it.
Right.
You got to be saying that. Say, now wait a minute. It was a good play, but
you see how they desensitizing us though? That's right. You feel me? Back in the day, you couldn't slap no grown man on his rear end. Now it's all good. They just. You feel me?
He come back with the drinks. You like, good play, dog. That's what I drink.
Yeah,
So y'all, we got to watch how Satan is attacking every angle to lower your standard, because we cannot judge a man unless we look at everything at the scope of it, because he's got it somewhere else where you are looking at it, you sitting comfortable watching that versus that gun popping part. That bothers me. But I'm comfortable with this on Sunday.
Right. Slapping the rear end. Yeah, all right. Come on, let's finish this up. First, you still in the
verse 14. Start it over. And judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off. For truth fallen in the street. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter.
Truth is falling in the streets, right? Come on, Hebrew.
Yeah, truth fell. And he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judge.
It displeased the Lord. Wasn't nobody discerning between what was right and what was wrong. Lord angry at that, because he tell us to hate what's wicked but love what's good.
Right.
The Lord say that. So if we ain't doing that, then what are we doing? We're turning a blind eye to wickedness. Right? We're okay in wickedness. And you look up. I mean, it's a slow, systematic thing, but as you look up decades down the line, now you got a whole society in shambles. Right? Because wasn't nobody standing on it from the jump.
See, they okay the wickedness, and then when some righteousness come around, they rebuke it. Nah, we don't want to do that. They go over there with that, man.
Or, as illustrated with Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah when he pleaded with the Most High. If 50 of my homies righteous, would you spare them? How about 40, 30? You couldn't even get a remnant up out of there. Therefore, he destroyed it.
Let's get it, Hebrew.
Verse 16. And he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness, it has sustained him. Verse 17. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate.
Was there anybody know what a breastplate is?
Yeah. Go on your chest.
A breastplate is an ancient bulletproof vest. So for you brothers that's in the streets out here, a breastplate number the bulletproof vest. And your brothers should put it on to keep the sword from sticking them through their chest.
Right.
Alright? Breastplate. What it say?
righteousness as a breastplate, and an helmet of salvation upon his head.
And a helmet of what?
Salvation.
Okay, so now we get into the armor that we talking about. We got a breastplate, we got a helmet. All right, come on.
And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing.
Come on.
And was clad with zeal as a cloak.
Where you at? Going out
Verse 18. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversary.
That's the Lord in the day we return, right? He's going to repay his enemies to their face. Come on, Hebrew.
Recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense.
Okay, now let's bring it full circle. Show y'all how this Old Testament and this New Testament match right up. We're going to read the same thing in Ephesians. Let's get that Ephesians 6. And then we're going to break down this armor. And then show you what the brothers had to do for this feast of dedication. Same thing. We're going to break down the breastplate, the helmet. Ephesians 6 is going to get a little bit more in detail on it.
Where's
Ephesians 6, verse 10 on 10 down to 18. Sword. So you got spiritual weapons out here. Sword, word, but you got to know how to get it in. Because you can't slap Satan or shoot. He's a spirit, right? So you cussing him out, slapping him, trying to pull a gun on him like you pulling somebody in the streets ain't gonna work. You got to know how to bang in the spirit if you want to be protected out here in these last evil and wicked days. Ephesians 6.
Ephesians.
And just because you choose not to believe he exists, don't make it a lie.
Right, exactly.
That's just you choosing not to believe.
Don't mean it won't come to pass.
Right.
Which brings us to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10.
Let's get it. Put this whole arm on.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord.
You heard that? That's where your faith come in at. He said, be strong in the Most High. Right? Come on.
And in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God.
Half armor of God.
Whole.
That means all. Put everything on. Right? Come on, Hebrew.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
This question is for the crowd. What's wiles? Anybody know? Wiles means trickery. Deceit.
Schemes.
So in order for you to stand against the schemes or the tricks of Satan, you got to have on the armor of the Most High.
Right.
You got to be strapped up. All right? Come on, Hebrew.
Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
This is not a carnal war that we in. Right? It's not a carnal war. Everybody you run into got a spirit they entertain. Either it's of the Most High or it's of the enemy. All right? Come on, Hebrew.
But against principalities.
Against what?
Principalities.
The definition of, come on, Hebrew.
Against powers. Against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world. This is who this war is against. All right, come on.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places. Not fleshly wickedness, spiritual wickedness in high places. This is a spiritual war we fight. Right. Those that run the earth are admitted Luciferians. They worship Satan. You got people that straight worship them. You can look some of these clowns up here. Aleister Crowley. Look this heathen up. Aleister Crowley. It's one of Jay-Z boys. Aleister Crowley. Y'all look this heathen up. And admitted Satanists. What else the other broad now? Yeah, read principality.
Principality.
Alexander LaVey.
Right. The state or office or authority of a prince. The position of responsibilities of a principal as of a school. And this is where we're getting on down to it. The order of angels. Celestial hierarchy.
You heard that? That said the order of angels. Right? You got spiritual forces controlling the rulers of this world. You looking at him like that's a flesh and blood man. It is, but he got a spirit on him. Right? He do acts of sodomy, certain rituals of Satan, so he can get deeper and more inspired. Like the heathen that thought of the atom bomb or the nuclear bomb. Man, nobody just got up and drank some coffee and made that up. He had to get wickedly inspired to get on that. Just like we were talking last week with Albert Einstein, an imposter Jew. Einstein. You know, he gets the Nobel Prize for splitting the atom. You think he just woke up and did that? He just woke up and said, oh, you know, E squared plus MEC squared equal this? No, he got spiritually enlightened on the left-hand side, right? And then he came up with their technology and their tricknology. There ain't nobody just came up with no nuclear bomb for no peaceful purposes. No. Nuclear bomb can wipe out everybody on the planet. You made that for peace. Right. No, you made that with the mindset to destroy God's creation. That's what we're talking about. What are they doing to get wickedly inspired to come up with this type of thing? Because that's what we banging against. We banging with the spiritual wickedness in high places. Right? Whatever gave you that understanding. That's what you at war with.
His wife.
Right?
She was a spiritualist.
Yeah, she was, what was her name? You know her name? Y'all look up Albert Einstein's wife. Very wicked. You got something, bro?
No. Second witness to that be 2 Corinthians chapter 10.
We going there next, bro. We going. That's the next script we going to. Go ahead and read it, though. We going there next, though.
It say, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. Right. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Hear that? The weapons of our warfare are not AKs, 9s, bats, swords, none of that. Because it ain't gonna work. You can't cut Satan or shoot him. Not in the physical, only in the spiritual. Go ahead, T.Y.
But mighty through God to pull down of strongholds.
What are the strongholds? Anybody know what that is? Anybody in the crowd? Strongholds are the lies. Anything that got us ensnared out here. Whether it be you thought Jesus was born on December 25th, or whether you thought bunnies actually laid eggs for Easter, or whether you thought the Sabbath day was Sunday, Strongholds are what got our people ensnared. Strongholds are the beliefs, the bad doctrine.
You know, a lot of this stuff we've always just questioned it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Not even before we even came into the knowledge. A lot of that old stuff out there, man, we used to always question.
Spiritually, you already was like, something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
So what Brother Joel reading, what he reading is that the weapons that we got can pull down them strongholds. Right. The truth pulls down the lie. Because the truth and the lie can't dwell together. Right. The lie gotta go. Right? So the weapons the Most High gave us in this spirit, which is speaking this truth, it pulls that down. And that's why you consider it a threat, because just off speaking, you can change the mindset of the masses. Right. Everybody, wherever you speaking at, can start believing what you say. Right? So the enemy like, yeah, he's a threat to the establishment, because they want everybody worshiping the same way. Living the same way. Coexist. That's what they pushing now. Right? But the Most High say, come up out of her and be separate.
Is it cool with any of y'all?
Yeah. Be ye separate. You got something to say?
When we talk about the worship,
hold on, y'all. Hold it down a little bit. What say, sister?
Some of those traditions that are being taught in church are, some of those are strongholds also.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was talking to one of my co-workers, and we were talking about tithing.
Right.
And I was telling her how my mom was giving so much of her money to her church that every week she broke. Right. And so I was telling, she said, well, you know, God's going to bless her if she continues to tithe. So I got some scriptures for her, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, not only tithing, but we're talking about women teaching in a congregation. And I showed her these scriptures that blatantly said, you know, women basically to keep in silence. And she was like, you know, I just started, first she was arguing with me, and then she was like, you know, I just started studying the word, but I see this. She said, but I need to talk to my pastor.
Further back.
And I was like, you know what, your pastor doesn't have anything that you don't have. He has this thing just like you do.
Right.
You need to not talk to your pastor, you need to pray to God and ask him for understanding. But it's like trying to just reach people when they have all these blocks up. It's like, you know, it's like keep praying for them, but it's like you see it.
Because they don't trust what they read. So now we're dealing on a very elementary baby level. People can't count to 7 no more. 7 days a week. People can't read thus saith the Lord and not know what that means. So we dealing, so our understanding has been reduced down a newborn. And the scriptures say we're supposed to be men and understand. We're supposed to be only be children when it comes to malice and wrath and revenge. You see what I'm saying? But in understanding, we're supposed to be men, grown men and women in understanding. But our people then we've been so reduced and seduced by the pork chop eating pastor that is all good.
We straight barbaric. We straight uncivilized.
You're asking them to believe that their pastor, who they look at as a holy man of God, is tricking them or telling them a lie.
Yeah,
God forbid that.
He's the only civilized man in the midst of all us heathens.
You're asking me to believe that he's purposely teaching me a lie. You know, and you have to understand that from that mindset. If they go ask him first, you just got to ask again, did you go ask him? Right. And if they fight it in, now they're choosing to believe a lie. Because they see it right there. But if they went and asked him, they don't want to hear him say, well, they got a point there. Right. You know, so they don't want to hear it.
Because she said, she did acknowledge the fact that she said, you know, I got to look into this more.
Right,
so
well, that's good.
Think, okay, maybe she's going to go and study it, but it's like when you're talking to people, and I'm sorry, one more thing. I was in a group of parents, my daughter's in this college program to help prepare for college, and they were talking about sex with teens. Well, they were talking to us parents about stuff that the children are exposed to. And one of the two ladies that worked at Planned Parenthood, they were talking about
Planned Parenthood.
Oh my
God.
Margaret Sanger, put her down. Put her down.
They asked this question, she answered. They said, well, you got to be careful you don't want to say negative. So I asked her what she
stand on negative.
I said she didn't want us to sound negative when we were talking to children about having sex or if they were having same-sex relationships. So I asked her, I said, why do you keep saying we don't want them to think we're being negative? I said, if a child is having sex or if they're having same-sex relationships, that is negative, it's wrong. I said, to me, it sounds like you're saying we shouldn't offend the children. But
don't offend the children.
you know, they were asking about love and everything, and I said, you know, when you listen, I said, we've lost so much of our morals in this country. And when you think about this music, you know, they try to make kids think that what they're doing is normal. I said, there's so much stuff in this music and in this world that's attacking our children, then instead of us telling them it's wrong, you're saying, don't offend them, don't tell them it's negative. I'm like, we have to take control of our children again. I'm like, look at all these adults, and they were talking about the same-sex relationships. And I said, did you realize that most of these children that are gay have been molested? Right. Instead of you dealing with that issue first and trying to help get them out of that. I said, my daughter had to go through something spiritual to help get her out of that because counselors weren't working. But you guys, instead of you dealing with the issue first, you're trying to help them say it's okay with the side effects of the original issue. And it's like, if we don't know what they're saying to our children, I mean, we're being attacked from so many different levels.
Well, that's why the Most High allowed that Jerry Sandusky and all this stuff to come out. If it get to the point, he'll bring it to the forefront. Just like he do what they have to look at.